Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use the security module to create new users and user names and passwords, and also allow them to create different access levels. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the security module. This is located under the website tab. Let's go ahead and click on this, and this is going to open up this security module. Right now, we only have one username and password created, one user ID called edit content, but in this case, let's create a brand new one. So we're going to click this add a new user button. From this, all we have to do is provide it a username, a password, and then an email address. So we can say the user ID is something like maybe just example in this case. Password, go ahead and give it a password, and it will go ahead and tell you how strong it is based off of the length and what type of characters you're using. Be sure to use lowercase and uppercase characters, as well as numbers and special characters. Those are all just help benefit the strength of your password. So then you have to re-enter that again, just like most passwords. Then the email address is going to be the email address that is going to be associated with the recovery process. So if you ever forget your password, it's going to be sending you an email via the email address that is specified here. So I can just put my email. So I can put like Dominic@thriveim.com, and then from there you can save it. Okay. Now, before we actually save it, we do have to give it an access level, or a group of an access level. Currently, there's only one that is available, which is admin. Admin gives you access to everything within your back office. No matter what things you have in your back office, it's going to give you access to everything. Okay, so now we can go ahead and save that. All right, and now that's been created. So now we can, if we want to, we can create a different access level. So say, for example, you want to create a different group or an access level that is only specific to form submissions. A lot of companies need a access level just for people to monitor form submissions. So what we can do is we can create a new group. So we can click on the Groups tab, click the Add New Group button, and then give it a group name. So we're just giving it a name at this point. So we can name it Form Submissions. And then we'll just save it. Okay. And now we can jump over to access levels, and now this shows up, Form Submissions. And now we can edit this, and this from here we can give this all different types of access. So now notice that there are many different things going on in here, right? So we have this far left column, which is the name of the module. So this left column is going to be every single module that you have inside of your back office. Okay, so this is going to be everything. Okay, now in the middle tab, middle column, there is this full access button or check mark that is going to basically be the same thing as if you clicked on the checkboxes for all of these right here. Okay, so instead of doing that, you can just click full access, and that will give them full access to this one module. You can also click on the individual check marks if you want to be even more specific on what they can and can't have access to. So and the way this works, so currently we're looking at the alert bar module. So let's go ahead and open up alert bar. Okay, now notice that these tabs are these listings here, alert bar, categories, setup, database, and statistics, are the same tabs inside of this alert bar module. We have alert bar, categories, setup, database, and statistics. So it's the exact same tabs that we're seeing there. So that's how it's kind of connected. And then we can give it different access types, such as view, edit, add, and delete. We can separate all those things. So viewing would simply be seeing this information right here. We wouldn't be able to edit, we wouldn't be able to add, we wouldn't be able to delete from here. Okay, so only being able to view it. Edit would give you access to editing just this here. So we could give, editing these different items. Adding would allow you to see these and click the add button here. and then as well as delete. So delete would mean that they can have access to this delete button. So different levels of access that you can give people depending on what you want them to be touching and things you don't want them to be touching. Okay, so in this case, we want to create a form submissions only type of access level. So let's go down to forms, okay, and then now we have submissions, web forms, database, and snippets. And so we can click on the view and edit for submissions, but we're not going to give them access to deleting. So we'll just give them view and edit on that. And then the last thing that you may also just want to kind of by default always give people access to are some simple things like giving them access to the home where they can get if there's any video training resources or support links or anything like that. That way they can get those resources, and then as well as changing passwords. They'll probably need to change a password at some point, so giving that access to them is good as well. All right, so that's basically what we have inside of the module section of this. So I'm going to go ahead and save this or apply it, and then from here there are actually a couple other groupings inside of access level. We have categories. So categories is going to give people access to specific content within categories based on whatever module that they have access to. So in this case, we gave them form submission, so that's really not tied to any categories. But there are some cases where maybe you guys have different facilities for each of your, maybe there's different facilities part of your business, and you need to give, the East facility a different access to just their specific content, and then maybe the West facility needs to have access to just their content, and so you can do that type of thing inside of this. So say for example you've given them access to web pages, the module, and they're going to be creating content and things like that. You can instead of giving them access to all categories, you can give them access to just like West and East and West here. Okay, and then that's just going to allow them to see the content that is only within those two categories. Okay, so and even though say for example you're just giving them access to web pages, but all of these other checkboxes are checked for all categories, that's not going to matter because they only have access to web pages. And that would be like if you gave them access to web pages under the modules tab here. So if you gave them like full access or view, edit, and add, whatever the case may be under this modules tab, you've given them access to that web pages module, then from there you have the categories tab, and you can say, okay, within that web pages module, they're gonna have access to just these categories, just these types of content. Okay. All right. Well, so that's that for the category section, and now there is also a menus section. So menus is a pretty big portion of the website, right? So this is gonna be how people navigate. So this is going to be something that you would see inside the menus training video. This is going to be covering the menus module and how that works. But this really is just saying, okay, what do they have access to within this module? So you can give them different access levels based on the type of menu group. So you can say they have full access to this menu group of main menu. Maybe they have full access to the East Branch menu group, and so on and so forth. So all these different menu groups that we have, that you can say they can have full access to all these menus. Now there are other menus within this, right? So for example, we have our demo site here, and this has like programs, youth development, sports, all these other things. And so you can say instead of all menus, maybe they're just the youth development director, and so you can say they are going to be able to add items under youth development. They're going to be able to create like different drop downs within this and all that, all down through there. But you can say, okay, give them access to youth development and everything under that. So So as you can see, it kind of filters down. So we have programs first, then youth development, sports, and then aquatics, and then it goes back up to, um, like education, leadership, and healthy living and social responsibility. And so you can say under each of those, maybe they would have something different. So, all right. But in this case, we can say under youth development, they have access to edit all of these items. Okay. All right. Well, that about does it for the security module. I'm going to go ahead and save our changes. Okay. And now, since we have this form submissions access level created, now we can go ahead and just apply that to our example. And so all we would have to do is give it a group, specify that group inside of this here. So we just select that item and save it. And then we're good to go. Now we can give the person their access. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.